Well, these conversations on the strike by SANU will continue, and we're hoping that the current administration takes them seriously, and there is some settlement, in the near future.
Welcome back to Breakfast Central. We have our papers to review this morning, and excitedly we are reuniting with Mr. Ikechukwu Amaechi, the publisher of the Nation newspapers. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Olive, always my pleasure.
Well, I said really excited, reunited, because last time we saw you was before we went to Abuja. We haven't seen you since then. So we're very excited to be back with you again.
Yes, I was out of town last week.
Yes, yes. Welcome back. Welcome back. Have you converted your car to CNG? Okay, let's begin with the Leadership newspaper. On the front page of the Leadership, varsity workers strike cripples academic activities. After 9 days, northern leaders kick over power outage. Want regions' challenges addressed. Governors reject tax reform bill, says that it's against the interest of North. Tinubu orders immediate restoration of electricity. In other words, Tinubu said, let there be light. And I hope that we can say that there was light. 7 days to go. Harris, Trump intensify campaigns. Lagos moves to combat illegal gambling, signs MOU with UK. Rodrigo wins Ballon d'Or Award 2024. Naseni, Imose rollouts made in Nigeria laptops and tablets. Former NDLEA boss Fulani Kwajafa dies at 88. Lawmaker in police net for assaulting Bolt driver. And that's all on the front page of the Leadership. Let's head to Daily Independent.
On the Daily Independent this morning, federal government to establish super grid to guarantee stable electricity. Discloses why national grid collapses frequently. Considers alternative power source for northern states. Security operatives to guard workers restoring power to north. Wow, okay. And also economic hardship more pronounced in the north, say the governors. We can also find here federal government advised to review policies as massive job loss looms. Also this morning, citizens shouldn't die before benefits are seen. Sani tells President Tinubu how judiciary can be independent by CJN Kekereku. Tinubu unveils National Lottery Trust Fund 4-year master plan. And also police grill rep mascot Ikweje, I think it's pronounced, captured assaulting Bolt driver. Constitution review, we're working on reserving seats, joint ticket for women, says Speaker. Those are the big stories on the Daily Independent newspapers this morning. All
right, on the next paper this morning, we have the Punch newspaper. On the front page of the Punch newspaper, no work, no pay dispute. Federal government invites unions as strike grounds varsities. SANU, NASU leaders enforce strike across varsities. NANS asks federal government to resolve crisis. North blackout. 19 governors meet. President deploys troops against vandals. Northern governors oppose Tinubu's planned tax reform. Students reject FCET's 10,000 naira fine for violent protest. Ghana eyes fuel imports from Dangote refinery. At the top of the paper, we have FCT issues Tinubu, Akume, ex-governors 2-week ultimatum. And we have the federal records here. Federal government needs 19 trillion naira to complete 2,604 roads, according to Dave Umahi, who has been in the eye of the storm lately. But let's start with the North blackout. 19 governors meet. President deploys troops against vandals. Earlier in the papers, I think it was on the Leadership, I had read the headline that said the presidency instructs there to be light. He said, let there be light, and we don't know if there will be light yet. But there have also been those who think and those who say that the blackout in the north is as a result of some form of, they're inferring that it's as a result of some form of intentional action to stifle growth in the region. So here in Lagos, a number of us have experienced it, but I don't know that we get that kind of reaction as well. But let's talk about the blackout and why it's such a big story, recurring in the papers.
Well, it is such a big story because the 19 northern governors have decided to make it look as if it's an exclusive northern problem. It is not. It's a national problem. The national grid has collapsed hundreds of times in the last how many years. So it is not anything new. President Tinubu decreeing that let there be light, and I think the Minister of Power, Adelabu, said it will be restored in 5 days. I don't know the magic they are going to use now to do that, which they have failed to apply all these years. But the truth of the matter is that, look, it all boils down to what we say here every day. Power should be decentralized. This issue of having national grid is not working. There should be a mix of power, energy sources, and states should be allowed to generate and distribute power on their own. This issue of everything being controlled from the center cannot work, and it won't work. And as long as we continue to say national grid, this, that, look, the infrastructure we have in power, unfortunately, despite all the investments we've been making as a country in the last 25 years, nothing has come through. Look at the issue of, we are still generating about 5,000 megawatts in a country of over 200 million people. South Africa, that has a population of less than 60 million people, generate over 40,000 megawatts. Egypt does. And all the three countries that have now overtaken Nigeria in terms of GDP are doing far in excess in terms of power generation. And we cannot make any progress whatsoever as long as we don't get the power right. Because everything revolves around power. The energy security that we need in this country, we must have it, otherwise there will be no industrialization. So the northern governors coming together to say it is a sabotage. Who is sabotaging who? What we understand has led to this thing is that the bandits attacked the power infrastructure. Is it anybody that sent the bandits to go and attack the power infrastructure? In any case, Olive, look, let us be realistic in this country. It is easy to apportion blames. Nigeria became independent in 1960, October 1st, 1960. Between 1960 and now, how many years? 64 years down the road, the North has been in power predominantly. So what have they done with the power that they wielded over and above all of us all these years? What did they do? President Muhammadu Buhari was in office for 8 years. What did he do to make life better for the people in the North? We still, all the indices of development that have gone south, go and check. The North is the main reason why Nigeria continues to plumb the depths of misery. So let them look inwards. The issue of Amaechi, like the Sultan told them in Kaduna, is it also sabotage? Who is sabotaging them? What are the leaders what are the 19 state governors from the North? What are they doing?
Well, they've also complained about the tax, the new tax bill, and how it is against the North as well. It's one of the things we're going to be talking about later as well. Their complaint, is that the way it is structured, saying that businesses should pay taxes from where their headquarters are located, that is not going to be favorable to Northern Nigeria.
I would have been surprised if they didn't raise that issue. But they have been spoon-fed for so long. They have been spoon-fed for so long. Look, what they are complaining about is the new in the tax reform bill that President Bola Tinubu presented to the National Assembly. What they are complaining of is that the provision that VAT should no longer be shared. That, in fact, should be shared based on derivation.
Yeah.
So if well over 60 or 70% of money collected as VAT is sourced from Lagos, why would a state like Kenya that continues to destroy alcoholic beverages, that their Sharia police, Hizbah, continues to wreak havoc on people who are doing legitimate businesses? There is no law in Nigeria that prohibits alcohol. The Constitution, which is the ground norm of this country, does not say you can't do your business. Yet these guys, with every amount of impunity, go out there, raid people's shops and businesses and destroy goods worth millions of naira. And yet, the same alcohol you say you don't want, the VAT paid on alcohol, you want to share. No, now. Look, Nigeria is not working. Nigeria is not working and cannot work as long as we continue on this trajectory that all of us have been put in. This is why people are arguing that let's go back to regionalism so that people can work on their comparative advantages. People can develop at their own pace. It favors everybody. Nigeria, I am sorry to say, even at the risk of sounding alarmist, Nigeria cannot make progress structured the way it is structured. It can't, because we will have people continue to drag us down. If people collect their taxes and then remit something to the federal purse, every state has what it takes
to make its own money and to
develop
its own
some money. There is no state in this country that, if the leaders are thinking, that cannot develop on his own.
All right. So because of time, let's quickly go into talking about our famous lawmaker mascot, Ikechukwu from Aba North and South in the House of Assembly. Of course, he's a member of ABGA, just to be clear. And of course, his sudden interest in snail and love for snail, that got him, super violent. I was saying earlier that I thought it was going to be abacha or uba, but I didn't know snail was such a delicacy in Aba North. Well fried and sauced with onions and fresh pepper.
Wow.
All right. So let's talk about that.
Well, again, why should anybody be surprised at what mascot did? Leadership in this country is not about service. It's about showing, like he asked the Uber driver, do you know
who I am?
Who I am? That's it. Go and bring the Inspector General of Police. Even when he knew he was being filmed.
I think that's the most alarming part, the fact that he knew he was being filmed and yet he kept talking.
He said, go ahead. Go ahead. It's the impunity that works on all fours in this country. And we continue to work on all fours as long as we elevate our leaders, so-called leaders, into pantheon of gods who can do no wrong. You see, a man, in those days that people used to travel by 9 bus, who travels by 9 bus with you, all of a sudden he starts carrying bag for a godfather, and he becomes a governor, and he becomes a god. Look, I go back to this River State and the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. I can't stop talking about him. Nyesom Wike came out of law school in 1998. So the first job, per se, if we discountenance what that first man, Edwin Clark, said that he was, as a lawyer, he worked with a motor park in Rivers State. Even if we remove that, the first major job that Nyesom Wike did was being chairman of Obiakpo local government in 1999. He has not done any other thing all his life. From being chairman of Obiakpo, he became chief of staff to Governor Ikechukwu Amaechi. From that, he was seconded to Abuja as Minister of State for Education. He came back, became governor, and is now. And all of a sudden, in a space of 24 years, Nyesom Wike has become the biggest thing that ever happened to Rivers State. Who does that? In any other country, where probability and accountability are the watchwords, people should be asking questions. How did somebody who never did any other thing apart from being in government make so much money? Where did this money come from? So it is that same sense of entitlement that pushed mascot Ikechukwu to this mess he's in now. Why beat a fellow citizen for demanding to be paid for services he has rendered to you? You hired him. He couldn't have done the delivery for free. So why beat him? Why not pay him? But he feels he's a big man. The mentality of the Nigerian big man, a member of the House of Representatives, an honorable member.
Yeah.
How dare an Uber driver demand for his wages to be paid for services he has effectively rendered? There is something fundamentally wrong with our psyche, the value system. In fact, there are people. My mentor, Dr. Omar Elazo, even Dr. Christopher Kolade, believe that the main problem we have in this country is not even this issue of constitution, it's the value reorientation.
Right.
We need to get the values right. Our value system has gone to the dogs. And as long as we continue on that trajectory of basically no values, we can't get it right. It is, if a man has values of respect, of integrity, of honor, he wouldn't do what Mascot did.
I agree with you. So what would you say are your expectations regarding how the Mascot case is handled? Because there's also been an implication on the part of the Nigerian police. You remember in the video when he made reference to the police, even at some point saying that I won't even ask my policemen to beat you, I'll beat you myself and put you in the generator house. There was a subsequent video where the young man, the taxi driver, Mr. Stephen, had said that the police did not invite Mascot to the police station, that they went to carry out the investigation in his house. It was later on he drove down to the police station and continued his reign of insult. So how do you foresee that this will play out? Is it a surefire way for him to self-destruct his political career? Do you see charges being leveled against him? Do you see him being made to go to court? Or is this just one of the things where we'll make a lot of noise? After 1 week, 2 weeks, it will Elisha our boy away?
Well, it may happen that they will use him to set example. Because of the impact of the social media, everybody is out there now. People are aware of what he did. He may suffer for his...
It depends on what you call suffer, though, because, I mean, it's not, we don't have any precedents to lean towards. But hold
Absolutely.
on. Good morning, Uche. Uche from Abia, good morning. Can you hear us?
I'm hearing you.
Go ahead quickly.
Go ahead, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for having me. The problem we're having in this country is that we have different laws to different people. The former CCT chairman, is he former or is he present? Umar acted his own part in is it bookshop or whatever you call the place. His security people beat that guy, the security guy there. The man told him to just park your car in order because he's a high-profile person. He started harassing the man. What happened? Even the Abu you mentioned, what happened? If we have one law in this country for everybody, both rich and poor, this country will work. But we don't have it. The judiciary is not helping matter. Even the police that you invited the man is not helping matter. If you see how some military officials are treating civilians, you will cry in this country. The same police too, they behave the same way. We don't have law for everybody in this country. God bless you people.
Yeah, and that was actually the point I was trying to make. When I say he's going to suffer, I don't mean it in the sense that he's being punished for a crime he did not commit. It's on video, and he did not
deny it either.
Deny it. The point I was trying to make is that because of the interest that this particular incident has generated, he may be used as a scapegoat just to show that police do their work. But like the Uche who just called, you know, it is because of the impunity that we've allowed to reign for too long in this country. The case that he mentioned, the Senator Abo that went to a pawn shop to beat a lady, what has come out of all those cases? We have, I said, we elevate mere mortals to gods because they occupy positions which ought to be leadership positions where they ought to serve the people.
Yeah.
But in Nigeria, anybody who becomes even a councillor of a local government starts answering honorable, and he is above the law. The local government chairman is above the law. A state governor is a god. Then a president does no wrong. We've had countries that have tried and imprisoned their leaders, former leaders. Even the man who is contesting the presidency of America was convicted. 34 counts. He is a felon. But in Nigeria, immediately you become a president. In fact,
lifetime immunity, actually.
If you like, pick up a gun, like former governor of Rivers State will say, execute 20 people on the streets, and nobody will raise a whimper. In fact, if you talk, there are some people who will challenge you. You have no respect for leaders. Yeah. How do you respect people who don't respect themselves?
I've also seen, you know, people, I spoke about it this morning, that there's already a social media whitewashing campaign going on for mascot, you know, Ikechukwu, you know, and people saying that, oh, Yoruba people normally would take sides with their own. You know, why are Igbo people coming out to condemn, you know, their fellow brother mascot for this slight mistake that he made? You know, because he's the most active House of Rep member, you know, in Abia State, even if there's no bill, you know, attached.
Again, these are the problems that confront us as a people, as a nation. I don't know how to get away with it. My thief is better than your thief. My thief, why should the armed robber from my place go to jail when the armed robber from your place has not been sent to jail? Right. So those who are saying, but it is not in the character of the Igbo man to share it.
Very true.
All right. Let's quickly take this call from Chinemerem. Good morning, Chinemerem. Thank you very much for calling from Imo. Please go ahead. Oh, unfortunately, we lost that call.
So nobody is going to shield mascot from, if he has committed a crime, he should face the time. Whatever it is, that is the punishment. I saw something a governor sent to me last night as a statement of apology that Mascot issued. It wasn't signed by him, it was signed by someone else, but of course written on his behalf, apologizing to Nigerians to please forgive his indiscretion, forgive him for whatever offense he had.
I'm glad that, I haven't seen that, and I don't think that apology, I believe that many Nigerians know that apology doesn't count. If he wants to apologize, and apology will not take away the fact that a crime was committed, but he would have to, in the same way he audaciously spoke to the camera, telling us his name and saying they should go and call the IGP, he will stand in front of the camera too and apologize to Nigerians. But that's another, conversation for another day. Even though the apologies won't really change much. But we need to be able to set deterrents to ensure that things like this don't happen. If not, people in power will continue to abuse power. Every day, you give them small opportunity, they get mopo, get extra vehicle. When you're driving on the road, their mopo will have koboko to whip you if you in any way come close to you.
Push you out of the road. Even when you enjoy yourself in the process, they don't care. They don't care.
Everybody knows that the worst thing to do is to try to get close to any of those convoy vehicles. You're really setting up your car for destruction. Thank you, Ikechukwu Amaechi, for joining us.
Always my pleasure.